What is up, guys? Today we're taking a look at some of the best bot lane combinations for Lucian and Ezreal, but we're also going to take a look at what are good picks against them. For this video, leave a comment or your best champion combinations to be featured on screen in a future video. So let's kick this off with Lucian first, and we're going to look at two really good lanes and then a few kind of counter lanes after. First one has been around a while, probably quite known, but it's going to be Braum. Braum offers a lot anyway, just in his kit. He's a solid pick, but in this lane specifically, he can actually do a lot more. The passive synergy is what we're really looking at. Lucian's double autos from his passive counts as 2 hits, so you can basically proc it straight away. It's not just that, but Braum's jump into stun combo is even better with Lucian. If you aren't sure, I'm talking about when he jumps to a minion that the enemy is near, hits them once, and then hits them with a Q for a slow. That's 2 stacks already, but most AD carries actually struggle to follow that up because he's jumped so far forward. Lucian can just dash forward, it's low cooldown, and an insta-proc the stun with the passive he gets from using his E. Now you have a stunned AD carry in the middle of the lane who can't do anything, and Lucian has a lot of damage. Like, that is an AD carry's wet dream right there. If that wasn't even enough, if you're level 6, you can follow that stun up with a knock up and keep them there even longer. Now when played properly, this is one of the hardest lanes to play against, and it carries well into mid game too. Let's move on to our next combination, and this one is going to be Janna. This is a very different lane from Braum. You're kind of taking a back seat and letting Lucian do most of the work. It's not as aggressive, I guess, but this doesn't mean you just sit behind him and do nothing. Please, for the love of God, do not do that. I hate when supports do that. We all know Janna has an insane ability to keep people alive, and that's what makes her amazing, and combined with Lucian's mobility, he becomes so hard to kill. Lucian is an aggressive AD carry. He wants to go in, he wants to burst trade with his abilities, and then ideally after that, just exit and farm. This is where Janna comes in. Her shield will let you do more damage with that burst, but it's also going to reduce the damage you take from diving straight in. That's the aggressive half of it, but the exit is also so easy to pull off with a well-placed tornado or Q. Basically, we shield to go in, we deal damage, we lose the shield, and then Janna can Q to let us go back for an amazing trade. What about if we're going against Lucian? Who do we take and why? To shut him down, there are 3 main strengths to Lucian's lane that we want to target: his mobility, his poke or short burst trades, and his ultimate. Alistar is the first one here. You have your combo to lock him down and keep Lucian in place, which is very hard for him to dodge as well. You have a heal to mitigate the poke damage, and that combo can be used to continue a fight once his stuff is on cooldown and he wants to leave. You also have the kind of added troll bonus, I guess, of if he ever decides to ult, then you can W him away and cancel it, or you can just soak the entire ultimate with your ultimate, making it do no damage in a fight. Nautilus is the second choice here, similar to Alistar in that he has loads of lockdown with his passive ultimate and hook, but he does a considerable amount of damage too. This is definitely more of a kill lane, and it's very hard for Lucian to deal with, but again, you have that targeted ultimate and root, which he cannot use his mobility to dodge. You can cancel his ultimate, you can shield some damage, and you can re-engage if he ever goes aggressive. Next up, let's look at Ezreal, and the first combo will be Nami. This is a slightly more defensive lane, but funny enough kind of works a lot like Janna does with Lucian. The specific thing we're looking at is her E, the extra damage on the autos. It's definitely not what Nami is known for, right? Not when you think of her anyway, but it's so good. It works on Ezreal's Q, so he can apply the slow and extra damage from range, but the really good thing is you can give the E to Ezreal as his Q is midair and it will still use it. This is the best surprise damage ever. Like, when he has the E on, most people will run away, but if you do it as he fires his Q, then they won't even expect it. The slow is really good to hit the follow-up Qs or bubbles from you, and that's the other thing. Ezreal's ultimate does a lot of damage, but it's pretty easy to read and dodge in the lane phase. Let's be honest, most AD carries in the meta right now have like some kind of dash or mobility, or they just take flash. Nami's bubble will hold them for just long enough for Ezreal to fire and hit his ultimate, which you then follow up with your E, and his Q will lead to a bunch of kills. The other side is obviously her heal, right? Ezreal doesn't have the best lane phase, and the heal will keep him in lane more and let him get to his famous 2-item power spike earlier into the game. Next up, we're looking at more of a kill lane. Well, lanes actually, with Leona and Zilean. I'm going to spoil you guys, and I'm going to give you 2 for 1. We mentioned before how good Ezreal is when he hits his ultimate, right? And this is basically what we're doing here, but with 2 different versions. Leona Ezreal is a classic kill lane that has been in the game for ages, kind of forgotten about for a while, but is still really good. You can proc the Leona passive from range with your Q. You have 2 stuns to land your ultimate with, and the damage from Leona definitely makes up for your not so great early game. This is an all or nothing lane really. You're going in, you're going deep, you're going hard, or you're gonna lose. Zilean is the same concept but more kind of poke than just jump straight in. The bombs plus Ezreal's Q will do a ton of damage. It's very hard to get close in that lane because they can punish you a lot. The real synergy comes when Zilean starts hitting his double bomb stuns. That holds him in place for Ezreal's ultimate or his Q. It does a ton of damage anyway, and you even have that speed up to let Ezreal chase him down. Ezreal is not as weak as people think he is in lane. Sure, if you go aggressive on him, he is pretty low health, but he can do a lot with the right support picks. Now let's look at the against. Who do we take and why? And again, we're going to target his poke, his mobility, and his ultimate. First one is known already, but Braum. Your shield blocks his ultimate, and honestly, Ezreal needs that damage from his ultimate to kill people in lane. It's as simple as that. Your passive is also great at locking him down. Ezreal is low health, and he needs to stay at range. If he's stunned, he can't really do much. Second one is Soraka, a bit different, but basically Ezreal just doesn't have the damage to keep up with her heals. He relies on poke, and Soraka will heal that poke back up while standing behind minions so you can't hit her. Unless you run a kill lane like Leona, you won't do anything in lane. Like, all of your damage will be healed back up, and even in teamfights, she can still out heal your poke. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, remember to leave it a like. Also comment down below to be featured in one of my future videos. Remember to like, subscribe, comment, share. But for now, as always, I'm going to leave you with the good old robots.